fucking crazy.
She's got 1,000 cop stare.
She's crazy. So I got in a lot of trouble for doing that because women are actually a huge weapon in enslaving men. You're not smarter than men. You can't resist enslavement like men. You're more lazy than men.
I just gotta know real quick. What was the other half?
It's like Scottish, Swedish mix. Yeah.
How long you been here?
1 year.
You ever been with a black guy before?
No.
Yeah, my boyfriend on shutting bomb buckler more top that. What type of question do you fling to these people then?
Okay, so Andrew, we have now we got all the girls introduced, whatever it may be, backgrounds, ages. We got a wide range here from 19 all the way to 35. Do you have any questions for the ladies?
What the you think you're doing?
It's been a while since you've been in America.
Andrew?
I'm like, yo, it's most Google God of War. Like, everybody knows who you are.
No. They might know who you are, but let's say because she doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Talk to brothers. Shook my hand in my face, smiled, said there's no issue. Then there's backlash. 3 days later, they go on the Patrick Bet David podcast and say it was all my fault. Even after the club incident, after the whole shit happened, when we were saying goodbye, did anybody say, hey, you should have played that song? Nobody said, hey, I'll see you in New York.
My name is Andrew Tate. I'm a feminist, of course. I'm here to support the women. No, I blew up to prominence in 2021 truth about the world, and then the system got angry at me and made me in jail and locked in my house, and I very recently got free. So I'm here to continue to tell the truth because I don't learn my lesson.
10 years out, 4 years old. Gave it my all, but he's tough. I don't know what to say. He's really tough.
So until they lock me back up, I'm going to continue to do it. And the reason why I got in so much trouble, I actually believe the divide between men and women, which we see every day on the Fresh and Fit podcast and everywhere else in the world, is being exploited for Earth to do their very best to enslave as many men as possible and prevent as many women as possible. This divide is actually artificially manufactured. I think that the ideas they're putting in both men and women's head are designed to make us not compatible any longer like women used to think, and men don't think like men used to think, and that's why we don't get along like we used to get along. That's why the birth rate, nobody has happy families, nobody has happy homes, women don't respect men hate women, everything is falling apart all around the entire world. And there's a lot of girls and a lot of women who sit here with their ideas and opinions, not understanding that they're not ideas and opinions they've come to with their own.
Okay, this cost what you made in your entire life. Okay.
How do you know how much I made in my entire life?
Well, because you said you do TikTok live for a living, you're freaking out over $10 million.
That's not all I've done.
It's a mill. In my safe, I actually have another. It's called AP Skeletons worth 150K. So I don't buy fake stuff. Actually,
So you know what? You know wealth is quiet. People that have money, they don't brag about it. They don't show it. They just say how much it is. You know wealth is quiet.
Well, listen here. All right, bitch, I'm talking. This is my
No,
turn.
you're a bitch.
This is my time. No, shut up. I'm talking.
You shut up.
Quiet.
Quiet. I'll drop you. I'll drop you. This is my life. I will drop you right now.
It's life experience. It's a psyop that's been perpetuated upon them. They've watched too much Sex in the City. Crap has been put inside of their brains, and they haven't sat down and actually analyzed where these ideas come from. And those ideas that were given to them specifically to make them repulsive to other men and to any man with any degree of testosterone. I think it's so I got in a lot of trouble for doing that because women are actually a huge weapon in enslaving men in the world today. And that's why we live in a world which is basically a gynocracy. If you look at America, women are in charge of everything. A woman can wreck you in court. A woman can lie about you. A woman can falsely accuse you of things you did not do.
Myron, you can see it in her eyes, bro. I see one thing for sure, no blood clot, more top, dog. Genocide, look on her face, dog.
A woman completely really does absolutely everything right. This entire world is being run by women, and the evil people in charge of the world are trying to make women more powerful than men. It is men who are going to resist against enslavement. It's only men who are going to cause a revolution and fight back against the evil people who are trying to put more but slaves. And I think this entire divide we see between men and women is actually extremely important for us to try and heal. Things will be fixed along with it.
Yes, absolutely.
Well said. Fair enough.
Body count, Andrew?
Say again?
Body count?
Well, I can guess. But the thing that's interesting is that I can guess and say a number. But the girls who are hiding their body count or don't want to say their body count, I understand very well why they don't want to do that.
Why?
And I think that actually highlights one of the key differences between men and women. Sitting here will not sit and say how many men she's had sex with, and I can sit here and say a number and nobody gives a fuck. That shows there are clearly key biological differences, and there are key differences between men and females, and we need to keep that idea for everything else we discussed tonight, because women are going to sit here and pretend that we're all the same and that we're all equal and that they can do everything a man can, but they won't even sit and say how many men they slept with because they understand intrinsically that their sexuality is actually completely differently wired than a man's sexuality. So it's important we keep that in mind.
People will dap you up, but they'll shame a woman.
I think Myron actually said this first. When a woman doesn't like another woman, what's the first thing she calls her?
Hoe.
Yep, bitch.
So if a woman doesn't like another woman, promiscuous. And then a woman will say, go, I'm promiscuous, it doesn't matter. Then why are you using it as an insult to any other woman you don't like?
Right.
Since the dawn of human time, nobody has ever.
Yeah. At this point, we know they do it to themselves, bro. Quit the yap. Let's get to the point there, bye.
Ever. In any holy book, in any society, there's never been a story which is complimentary about a girl who's promiscuous. It's only the opposite. Chastity, hard to achieve, hard to obtain, hard to get. Nobody's ever been singing the praises of a hoe, ever. Until this new modern world where they've come along and decided, how do we make each other so nobody has children? How do we get men to give up their warrior spirit? How do we prevent men from going to the streets and finally taking their fucking country back? I know what we'll do. We'll get them scared of their whore wives. Get them married to some bitch who treats them like shit. Tell him if he leaves her, he loses everything he's ever worked for. And he needs to sit at home and simp over some bitch who barely likes him. She's allowed to go out and drink with the boys. You can't even tell her not to do that. This is all done on purpose. And they've really somehow convinced women that being promiscuous is somehow a win. It is a fucking L. There's no bigger L for a woman than being fucked left and right by guys who barely remember her. And if you've been silent into believing that's a good thing and that you somehow win, you are definitely a slave to the matrix. And understand the most important thing you have as a female. You're #1 trump card in the world. In fact, the only advantage you have on this planet is your sexuality. You're not bigger than men. You're not stronger than men. You can't resist enslavement like men. You're more lazy than men. You can't do anything a man can do. The only thing you've got is sex. And if you're throwing it away to any fucking retard in Pennsylvania who drives a fucking Toyota, you need to think twice about what you're doing.
Thoughts on a one-night stand? I think one-night stands are fun. Also, like, if you f me good and we have amazing chemistry, like, I'm gonna continue to like, I only really one-night stand if, like, I f you because I'm into you that night and this is bad. Right. But if this
the Bible calls women the weaker vessel, like, quite literally in scripture. I mean,
and it's not an insult.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
It's playing to your strengths. You have to look at the board and say, what do I have on the board that I can play with? And women understand that sexuality is their move. That's why they have OnlyFans accounts. So what I'm saying is, if that's your goal, don't throw it away. Be very...
Yeah, man, me hear you, Tate, me hear you. But how many times are you gonna try and tell him again and again and again, my boy? Because it seems like them nageti. It's not getting through their head, boy.
It's an L to give away your gold. It's an L for a man to give all his money away. Why would I give money away to random hoes on the street in Miami if I just walk around and start handing out dollar bills? I'm a dumbass. So if you're gonna walk around handing out pussy, guess what you are? You're a dumbass. And this promiscuity is being pushed by the matrix going to detest a man more than the fact that before he met you, you were promiscuous. What's gonna make a man... There's nothing else that will make a man want to take care of you less than the fact you were promiscuous before you met him. I have to take care of you, pay your bills, put up with your shit, get you a house, buy you a car safe, pay the bills. I have to do all this, and that guy hit it for free? Am I a fucking dumbass? Why am I paying for what he got for free? And you get a hamburger for $1, and I come next and they say it's $10. I'm like, why did she pay $1? Why am I paying 10? Am I fucking stupid? Right. Promiscuity is lowering your value to all of your future potential partners. It's extremely important that doesn't happen on here. Are sitting saying, I don't want to say my body count. I understand why they don't want to say it. I'm not saying they should say it. What I'm saying is that every single female alive actually intrinsically understands her only value or her biggest trump card to other men is her sexuality. And no man wants what every man has. Sure.
Okay, so if women's sexuality is their only thing, why is it so important what a woman's body count is and not a man's?
Because she's a blood clot.
Why is it so important what a woman's body count is and not a man's?
Okay, you want to hit this one, Myron? No, please.
No, you're supposed to guess, bro.
All right.
They've heard Myron, you can get it after.
I'm just here to moderate.
It's a genuine question. I'm genuinely curious from a men's perspective.
Well, there's very specific biological differences. This is the most important. But this is actually very important because for the longest period of human history, up until very modern times with birth control, etc., if a woman had sex with a man, she might be out of the dating market forever. So she needs to be a lot more careful with who she sleeps with than a man does. Because a man can have sex with a woman, she can get pregnant. The man's not out of the dating market. The man can just bounce if he so decides. That's the first thing. It's biological. It's very important. Secondly, from a societal perspective, women for a very long time for their chastity or as close to it as possible. This is why all of society was built. Why do you wear a white dress at a wedding?
I don't know. Why do you wear a white dress at a wedding, Tate? Tell us. Go ahead.
You know why?
Purity.
To be honest, and no one is, but you're supposed to be, right?
But why? But why?
Why? I'll tell you why. Because for the longest period of human history, the only way I can have a child is if my wife was a virgin. How am I going to know that kid's mine?
You know what, man? When you start thinking about it, it makes a lot of sense.
We live in some country where everyone looks the same, right? I'm Chinese. Ching Chang, Chang Chong, Ching Wong, Wing Wang. We all look the fucking same. Chinese baby comes out. How do I know that Chinese baby's mine? Now we have DNA tests. All right, cool. But humans have evolved over thousands of years, right? How do I know that baby's mine? The easiest and only way for me to now have to take care of, which is supposed to share my name, which I have to invest years into trying to make a prodigy of me, which I have to give my empire to, which I have to give my money to, that son. Everything I've ever worked for, everything on my back goes to him. How do I know he's mine? The easiest way is probably one of the only ways, right? So we now live in a new modern society where you can trick with science. You can take birth control, you can get DNA tests, you can sleep with all these men and get away with it, etc. But this is not the way things ever were. And if you accept that, then you must accept that evolutionarily, biologically, that there is a mental component to all of these things. And I want to give you all a thought experiment because I'm treating you like adults. If I told you, here's a girl, you've never met her, and she's had sex with 1,000 men. Do you imagine her to be a rational, stable girl, or do you imagine her?
She's got 1,000 cocks there. I mean, she's
She's
crazy,
nuts.
man.
She's nuts.
Yeah, she's not there.
Okay, so a woman can't. So let's approach this as professionals. Here's the point. In history, if a woman slept with a man and she got pregnant, she was with that man. There was no birth control. There's no DNA test.
Correct.
Women are not prepared mentally to go through endless breakups. They sleep with a guy, they have a kid, they're stuck with that guy forever. Men, since the dawn of time, have been sleeping with different women. We're evolved for it. Women aren't. A woman cannot go through life having endless sex with loads of different men and not damage. They end up fucking crazy. They end up on antidepressants. They end up being alcoholics. Any woman who sleeps with 100 men ends up literally fucking nuts. You're not evolved to do that. And if you find a woman who has done it, talk to her for 5
That's what he
minutes.
was doing, but we weren't in no relationship. But like that, yeah. Okay, we were in a relationship, but that's another thing that we were in a relationship. I was trying to keep that out.
Like, bitch, you're nuts.
Can I offer
That's the
something
truth.
real quick? I think that's why Judaism is only passed down through the mother, technically, right? Because that's the only way that you can confirm that that child is actually Jewish because it was birthed by the Jewish mother. You don't know with the father who actually impregnated her at the end of the day. Like, quite literally, Judaism only passed down through the mother.
Do you think that's an interesting point?
Yeah,
I have to be careful
it's
talking about them because I go to jail.
Oh.
But do you believe a woman can retain her sanity?
No.
This is a simple yes or no question.
No.
Because I know men who have slept with 1,000 women and they're fine. Can a woman sleep with 1,000 different men, 1,000 different dicks inside of her, and retain her sanity and happiness as an individual? It's a yes or no question.
No, not even 100, in my opinion.
You'll
Not
lose
even
your-
100.
You'll lose your fucking mind. You're not evolved to go through breakups.
Nope.
You're not evolved to do this. You're supposed to have sex with a man, get pregnant, be with that man. You're not supposed to be sleeping with a new man every 3 months.
Right.
This is all modern bullshit in their fucking minds. How many women are on antidepressants? How many women admit they have a mental condition? How many women admit to being depressed? All of this comes down to the amount of dick they're taking. None of these women should be fucking all these dudes. That's why they're all mental. All these women are fucking crazy.
I think
It's
a lot
just
of
the
women
truth.
agree with you on that.
You're
Right?
right.
Like, no, because
No.
when a woman has a male-centered friend, what is the first thing you do when you become friends with someone? You notice if they're male-centered, and you
Right.
do not want to be friends with them.
Right.
And so I feel like we can all agree to a certain extent. If a person is a certain amount of male-centered, it is an unhealthy friendship because men will become everything about the friendship.
True.
Nothing else will matter.
One of my best friends
real quick, ladies, hold on. Guys, I'm going to cut my gains. Actually, we're going to go on over to Fresh and Fit. So you guys go over to Fresh and Fit on either Rumble or YouTube, whatever you guys want. But yeah, come on over to Fresh and Fit. I'm ending my stream, Iron Gains X. OSS, all of it is ending. Come on over to either Cats Club or Rumble or Fresh and Fit.